Good morning from the Philippines. It's about 7 a.m. here, I think, and so that's about 5 p.m. in the USA Mountain Time. And so I have been working a lot and doing a lot of things in the almost a month I've been here, but I haven't given a lot of status updates. And my wife Jenny says, "Hey, you need to show us what's going on." So, got a few motorcycles driving down the road here. We're on a cement road, you can see there, which was one of the big reasons we decided to buy this house. And so I'm standing at the front gate to our house, and the front gate needed some work, and I'll put a video in and show you before. And so what was happening before is the gates haven't had any maintenance for a long time, and you can see where the gate has just rusted out. And so I went through and ground out a lot of this rust and things. And then I went through with a primer and I put new paint on there. And then also on the man gate, I created a place to put a deadbolt, because before we would use a lock and we'd just move the two arms uh, to lock the gate at night. Was kind of a pain, and so I've had it converted to where they cut a hole, and we can, instead of using a padlock, we can just use a deadbolt. So this is what the gate looks like now. A lot better, not so much rust. I guess I have to clean the gate though, because now the black gate looks really dirty. Another thing that wasn't working was the lights out here. These big yellow globes or lights look really nice at night, but they weren't working. So I had to go through and figure out what was the problem and get those fixed. By the way, in the Philippines, this is the doorbell. People usually, even during the day, leave the gates closed, and so there's no way to get into the house, to see the people. And so this is the doorbell, and this is quite common in the Philippines, that we have an outside doorbell, and if you want to talk to the people inside, then you ring that doorbell, it makes a noise inside the house, and then they will come out and open the gates for you. um, there was also a lot of trash and everything um, out here, and so I spent some time picking it up and cleaning up the house and everything. And this is what we call Lake Valencia. It's kind of a joke. It seems like there's always water here. Those are the water meters over there. Those are the ones for Dumaguete. And the house used to be on Dumaguete water, but we actually switched. This house is unique in that it can have two different water systems. And underneath this plant, that is the Valencia water meter. And so one of the things that I did is I had the plumber switch. So we used to have Dumaguete city water, and that's the water shut off for the Dumaguete water. And we were trying to find the water pipe where it went. By the way, I'm making this to show you guys my life in the Philippines, but I'm also documenting this so I can remember everything. And so the house had two water systems. And this is the house. I just got a new car. And it's kind of a mess because it was a construction area and we're still working somewhat. I had to buy a bunch of tools so that we could dig all the water lines up and everything like that. And here's all the water lines that were buried and everything. And some of them went back into that area. And before the water, the Dumaguete water would just go straight into the house. And that's the fitting there that brings the water into the house. The Valencia water had been brought in and was back in that area back there. So we dug that up, brought it onto this side of the fence, put in a water filter. And by the way, this water filter's only been here maybe a day or something, and it's already really dirty. So I'm glad I put the filter in there. And so this now is the Dumaguete. No, this now is the Valencia water, and it goes down into the ground and then it goes into the house. The pipe that was bringing the Dumaguete water came from this area, and out there is where that shutoff is for the Dumaguete water, and so then the pipe comes this way and goes over here. Well, the plumber that I had, Michael is his name, he said, hey, we can have it so that you can switch back and forth if you want. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. So right now, we're on the Valencia water, and we've got this shutoff valve here. We can turn off that valve and then go back to the valve down there that I showed you was for the Dumaguete water, turn that on, and then we can use the Dumaguete water. But I wasn't happy with the Dumaguete water at all. They turn it off every night for maintenance, and then it gets air in the line, and sometimes it gets dirt in the line, and I wasn't in love with that at all. So this system, Valencia, they usually don't turn off the water at night. It's pretty dependable water. It's a little bit dirty, as you can see, but with a filter in there, the Valencia water seems to work a lot better. And the Valencia water was never really used at this house. So yeah, the filter looks really dirty, but really that's 10 years worth of gunk that's been in the pipes and everything because we never used it. And so now we're using it, and so the pipes are probably cleaning themselves out, and that's why there's getting to be a lot of stuff in the water. But so far, the water is working a lot better. It was on all night. There isn't a bunch of dirt and air in the morning when I get up to take a shower and get ready. So that's a very nice feature. And this is our side yard here, and this is the house. I had to clean up a lot of stuff too. You can see some dead leaves and stuff around here. Some of the trees were actually hitting the house. We have palm trees and a lot of other things, and they were hitting the house, the roof, and everything. So I had to chop those off. And these trees are guava trees. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And there's one right there, and there's some much bigger ones. Oh, there's one back there. And apparently the guava trees, and there's 3 or 4 of them here in our side yard, have a lot of medicinal purposes. The leaves can be used to make an antibiotic, antiseptic, and the fruit itself is really good. And so here's the house, a little hard to see, and our front yard. One of the reasons we bought this house is because it has a huge yard, and we have some plans to do some things in the yard. There's a coconut, and there's more coconuts. It seems like on the average 1 coconut drops per day. So if you like coconuts, you'd never starve to death because there's tons of coconuts. These coconuts are the yellow coconuts or the golden coconuts, and apparently they're a lot better than the other kind of coconuts. You can see there's quite a few of them in the trees. That building is just a storage building. There's a bunch of construction materials and stuff in there now. And these trees, very beautiful with red and yellow flowers, but they're just ornamental. I'm not in love with the ornamental stuff myself. And all of that stuff there, the short green plants, those are pineapples. And in fact, we've got a couple pineapples growing. There's one there. There's another little one there. There's one there. And down here, I saw a big one somewhere. These are more palm trees with their oil. This is the fruit of the palm tree here. Yeah, here's another pineapple. And here's the bigger one. Soon this pineapple will be ready to eat. There's another pineapple there. Here's some tree that was chopped down, and of course it's starting to grow again. more palm trees. This building here, this is the maids' quarters. A lot of the foreigner type houses have maids' quarters. Here's our clothesline to dry the clothes, which in the rainy season doesn't work really well. Stove is propane fired, so we have to go get propane, well, I don't know, a couple times a year, not very often. There's the maid house again. We have a deck in the back, a patio, sorry, and it's covered, so that's nice. And there were a couple problems back here. I had to clean up this area, and this gate leading out to the patio had a lock on it, and it wasn't, we didn't have the key for it. I thought we had the key for it. We had a key that fit, but it didn't open the lock. So either the lock was seized or something. So we had to cut the lock off, and then I went through and greased and oiled a lot of stuff. I had to do that on the front gate too, actually. The front gate was worn from disuse, and so yeah, I'm painting it, but I also went through and greased and oiled, and there was a bunch of rust in the hinges and things like that. So I had to go through and kind of refurbish all that stuff. Here's the front door to the house, which happens to be open because it was cool last night. Gosh, in the Philippines, it doesn't really cool off at night, but last night for some reason it did. And so I opened up the front door here, and I've got a fan running to try and bring some of the nice cool air. I would guess it's 76 degrees this morning, so quite cool. If I were to go outside right now and see the Filipinos out, many of them would be wearing jackets and shivering because of how cold it is. 70, 76, 78 degrees to them is really cold. Oh, another thing that I've done, so the driveway gets this kind of black mold kind of stuff on it if you don't keep it clean, and no one's been here for 6 months, so things kind of went to disrepair. So I started cleaning off the driveway. You can see a big difference there. And I also put in these pieces of bamboo because when the gates open for the garage, sometimes they'll start blowing around. And so I made it so that I can tie the gates off onto those pieces of wood or bamboo. And that way the gate will stay open and not be blowing around all day. It can get windy in the Philippines right now. It's not so windy. You can see the trees are moving a little bit, but not very much. Oh, there's a third building, which I didn't mention before. It's over on this side. And it's kind of another storage building. That building back there in the corner. So the house itself is pretty big. 3 bedrooms. Well, there's actually 4 bedrooms. There's the master suite, and then there's 3 additional bedrooms. And then there's the maid's quarters, which has its own bedroom and its own comfort room, they call them, the bathroom. It's a nice neighborhood too. That's a foreigner's house over there, our neighbor. And they have a pool over at that house, and it's all gated and everything at that house. And then the house over on this side, which you can't see very well, you can see the roof there. That's the roof of their maid's quarters. The main house is over there. It's hard to see, I guess. And that's also owned by a foreigner, a USA gentleman. And actually, a lot of the trees in the front too, I needed to trim. And so this is all garbage from the trimming that I've been doing. And that's another view of the house. I'm really happy with the house. Yeah, we had to fix a lot of things and stuff, but now that I'm getting the stuff fixed, the house is really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. This is our turnaround area, so when we drive, I like to back the vehicles into the drive or into the garage. And that's hard to do when you've got kind of a straight driveway from the gate to the garage. So this area is for turning around, and it's very useful. Boy, I'm glad they put that in. Next, we can take a look at the inside of the house, but I'll turn the camera off and resume in a minute. Okay, here we are at the front door of the house. Nothing's changed here, but just to give you an orientation. So what I want to do, I'm going to clear away all this rock in this area up to those rocks over there, and then clear it all down this area. And I think I'm going to put raised beds in here. But in any case, I'm going to start a garden in this area. It's going to be a pretty big garden, and I'm going to try growing some things here. I actually tried to grow some things already. I went to the market, the Sunday market in the Valencia Plaza, and I bought some peanuts. And they're raw peanuts, and they're Philippine peanuts, which are completely different than USA peanuts, and they weren't roasted, they were raw, and I even had to wash them and everything. Well, a couple of them I noticed had started growing. There's a little bit of growth, there's some roots and stuff. And so what I did is I took those two peanuts and I planted them. Right here, I had dug out a tree. There was a tree here, not as big as these trees, but it was fair size. So I had to dig that out because it was dead. And then I thought, well, as long as I'm digging, I'll plant a couple of those peanuts. So about a week ago, I think, well, a little bit longer than a week ago, I planted those peanuts, and here they are. They're growing already. And you can see that one is actually pretty big. So that's why I think things will grow pretty good in the Philippines, and uh, why I want to start a garden. Um, uh, there's a lot of things that can be grown very successfully in the Philippines, and so I'd like to try my hand at that and see what kind of success I can have. Boy, it was raining so hard this morning, and I was out working in the yard and got all wet. That's my raincoat. And I cleaned off the driveway. Before it was almost black, like over there. I started working on it, and then I stopped because it stopped raining. So that's why there's a white area here and a black area there. That black is all like mold, and so I need to clean that off. And when the rain stopped, the rain makes it a lot easier to clean it. And so I was working on that while it was raining, and that's why everything got all wet. And today, Michael's going to come. I'm trying to get ready for him, and we're going to put up some TV cameras, some 4K. I got 4K cameras, the same cameras that my wife has in her restaurant in the USA, and I'm going to have them installed here. And so we're trying to find the best place along the front of the house here where we can see the gate. And it seems like right above the garage is the best place for that. And I have a motorcycle and I have a car. Mostly now I drive the car unless I'm going someplace where I have to park, because there's no parking in the Philippines. And that's why it's nice to have a motorcycle, because you can park the motorcycle a lot of places, but not so much cars. We have a whole house electric water heater, and that's very nice. Then all of the faucets and all of the showers in the house have hot water. So that's a nice feature of this house. They put all of the air conditioning condensing units in the garage. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And the reason they did that is because in the Philippines, they'll get dirty if they're outside. And so they put them inside the garage at this house in order to keep them clean. And boy, I've tested them all, and they all work really good. The house can get really, really cold. I also went ahead and bought a washing machine. Most Filipino homes don't come with a washing machine. There's enough laundromats and laundry services around that a lot of people don't do that. But I decided I wanted to have my own washing machine. They don't have dryers in the Philippines. This machine just spins, and I guess you can't see it because it's turned off. But one of the features is ultra dry. Yeah, there it is. And so it will spin, and it will spin a lot using that ultra setting, and the clothes do get pretty dry. So then I just hang them up afterwards, and I got a pressure washer too because I need that for cleaning stuff. And of course, the garage has tile floor. That's normal in the Philippines, if you have a garage. Most houses don't have a garage. In fact, the house that's next door to us, I was telling my wife the other day, I think I showed it to you in the first video, but yeah, that green roof over there and that house over on that side is for sale. I heard some people talking over there, so I went over and talked to them, and they were the owners from the USA. And I talked to them about the USA and stuff, and then they mentioned, well, we're thinking about selling this house. And I said, oh, I can help you sell it. So I'm going to go meet with them tomorrow. Because they actually live up in San Jose, which is, I don't know, an hour's drive from here or something. And that's where their nice home is, and that's where they reside and everything like that. And so this home here is just kind of an extra house that they have. And they were thinking about renting it or something, I guess, but now they're saying they're going to sell it. So I'm going to go up there and talk to them about that, because one of the things I do in the Philippines is real estate, and so I think that I could get that house over there sold. I'll make a separate video about that house when we go over there and walk through it and take photos and everything for the listing. Okay, today I'm going to go inside. Unfortunately, it's a big mess inside the house, and so I'm going to try and clean it up first, and then I'll continue the video on the inside. I grabbed a generator because Sunday we had a power failure, and I guess there was no power for most of the island. So let's step inside. The first thing you see is a little room. Maybe it's supposed to be kind of a storage area. So I have a bunch of projects going on here, and I did put up a coat rack on the back of this door because in USA that's kind of a normal thing. And I put up some shelves in different places, and I bought an emergency light because this hallway, when there's a power failure, it gets to be really, really dark here because there's no windows down this hallway at all. And these are just like storage closets here. And you go down the hallway and it opens up into the kitchen on that side and the family room, the sitting room, as Jenny would call it. And then out here is the back patio, which is covered, of course. That's nice. I'm not buying a lot of furniture, so I bought a couple of folding tables, and I'm using those, and I'm also using boxes and stuff like that, and folding tables until maybe Jenny gets here, and then Jenny can help get some furniture. I had to buy drapes, so the house came completely empty. There was absolutely nothing in here. I had them install Wi-Fi, and this is fiber, actually. All the air cons work. I got a chance to try those, and they all work really good. It gets really cold. This fan and light wasn't working, so I had to mess with that for a while. Finally got it working. Put up some more shelves here, and I had an electrician come by and put in that outlet right there, and there's also an outlet up there that's going to be for the internet. This router over here isn't very strong as far as Wi-Fi is concerned, and so they give you when you sign up for their service, they give you a little repeater. It's more of an access point, and so I had to have a place to power the access point so that we can have good internet coverage around. Oh, and I have been cleaning the house, as you can see there. but it's still really dirty. So this is the kitchen, and it's a mess, but at least you can see it. It has granite countertops. This is the drinkable water in the Philippines. The water that comes out of the tap, they say you really shouldn't drink that. Yeah, some nice cabinets, gas stove. The gas, of course, is not from a pipeline. You have to go get propane at the store and bring it home. I got the biggest refrigerator I could find in Dumaguete, 24.3 cubic feet, because Jenny and I were used to the big refrigerators. And in the houses in the USA, we have lots of refrigerators in our houses. One house has four refrigerators. And then they say in the Philippines you need to buy this little thing to protect your refrigerator so it doesn't burn up, because there are a lot of power failures in the Philippines. Oh, this light is very dim, and it's supposed to be for like the dining room. This is the dining area. And they had this same fixture in the master bedroom, and I couldn't stand it any longer, so I went and got another light to put in there. This is just a closet, and I'm using it for storage of household things, all kinds of stuff in there. There's 3 bedrooms down at this end of the house. This is one of the bedrooms. This is a nice size, and it's nice that it has some closets. The previous tenants put something on there like a poster, and I took the poster off, but it left a lot of glue behind, so I need to fix that. This is the view from this bedroom, which is a really nice view. And this is the front door, and I put one of the electronic locks in here, the Yale lock, so that it matches our houses in the USA. And this is a bathroom, and here's another bedroom with another nice view. This one has 2 windows, so you can look out to the front yard, but then you can also look out to the side yard and see our clothesline, because they don't have clothes dryers in the Philippines. You can buy a clothes washing machine, and that's about all. This is the 3rd bedroom, and it has an okay view too. And then I did a lot of work in this bathroom. This bathroom is kind of a disaster before. The toilet needed to be completely rebuilt. It wouldn't flush or anything, so I had a plumber come in and redo all of that. This house is a little unusual for the Philippines because it has hot and cold water. I'm not sure if you can see that little red dot there, but all of the fixtures have hot and cold. And so this shower has hot and cold water too, which is unusual for the Philippines. Before, they had a little tiny sink in here. It was really bad. And Jenny, when she came in and looked at it, she said, "Hey, this thing's got to go." It was just really small, and there was no space to put a toothbrush or anything. So I went to the store and found this, and it also has storage up above. You can see in there. So this was one thing Jenny really wanted, and I finally got all of that stuff done. So this part of the house, in a way, is separate, and that's one thing we really liked. Down this hall, that's the master bedroom around that corner. But if we wanted to rent this side of the house, we could easily do that. There's a door at the beginning of this hallway here, and we could just close this door, maybe put a deadbolt on there, and then this would be one side of the house, like a duplex, with 3 bedrooms, and a comfort room is what they call the restroom in the Philippines. And they'd even have a big walkout covered patio, full kitchen, so they could rent this side of the house. We'd close this door and deadbolt it, and then we'd have the master bedroom down here. I haven't done a lot in the master bedroom. I did have to buy a bed, and so I went and bought one of the best beds I could find. I got some curtains, using a box for a table. That's the security system that they put in just about a day ago or something. Another folding table for my office here. I bought a chair because I got kind of tired of the folding chairs. And then I put up this shelf for the security cameras and then internet access here in this room. And there's a master bath. This room needed a lot of work too. In fact, it's still kind of dirty because of all the work we've been doing in here. This one, like the other one, was leaking water due to some plumbing problems. And so this had to be completely rebuilt, and I got a new faucet for this sink. The toilet also wasn't working very well, so I had this completely redone, and now it's working well. And of course we had to get the bidet. Jenny likes those, so I'm getting used to it now too. This shower is okay. I wish I might change it a little bit, but I can do that later. It also has hot and cold running water in there. And then a walk-in closet. You don't see many walk-in closets in the Philippines. I put a bunch of stuff in here. Of course, there's, the man's side and the woman's side. And I bought this little thing for, gosh, I can't remember what it was. Maybe $20, brand new. And it has a bunch of drawers and stuff in there for clothes. I'm trying to get my drone ready so that I can make some videos in the Philippines. And one of the first things I bought was a safe. The part of the Philippines we live in is very safe, but it doesn't hurt to lock up your valuables, your passport, your cash, things like that. So that's a quick tour of the house and just a few things that I've been doing. There are quite a few electrical problems, so that's why this is all taken apart. I need to figure out what's going on there. Jenny also wants all of this changed. There's a bunch of empty space over here, and she didn't care for that stuff so much, so she also wants this one to be remodeled, which I'll get around to eventually. Oh yeah, everything in the house has high ceilings. And this is that fixture that I replaced. It used to have just that really dim fixture that was burning out, actually. It was an LED fixture, but the LED started burning out. Very high ceilings in this house. Another AC unit there. This really is the only one I use. I turn that on, I close that door. Boy, it gets really, really cold in here. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of work outside, been doing a lot of work, but inside too. There's just a lot of things to do in a house, especially when it's brand new to you. A lot of things that you want to change and kind of make it your own. So that's a quick look at the house, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know and I'll make another video. And one more video, I just realized that I didn't show you the house at night. I fixed these outside lights, but I also added some lights to light up the trees, and it makes the house look a lot nicer, I think, at night. So here's an outdoor shot.